Hi, it's Donna here from Clever Crafting. Thank you for joining me today. So today I've decided to start a very short but important series, 12 cards in 12 days, and these are all Christmas cards. I'll be using the same pack of Christmas paper. They're all 6x6s. So we're going to start with, most of these cards are fairly basic and throughout the whole series, and we're only using a couple of stamp and die sets. So I'm going to start with my metric rectangles, and this piece that I've chosen, you can see that what I'm actually doing is I'm lining up this particular piece. It's the second largest in the set of rectangles. You can use any rectangles that you have. These ones just match the A6 paper here in Australia, for the A6 card base. And I'm just going to take that and run it through my die cutting machine. You can see that I've already cut the red one there. That I cut with the second largest of the metric rectangles. And now I'm going to just check out which one I want. I think this one is the 6th one down, and now I've decided to go to the 7th one down because I want a bit of a gap. So I want my red piece to be the size of that one, of that 7th piece. So rather than cut another piece of red, a different piece, I'm actually going to cut it out of the original one, because this will certainly help me save on paper and all of the, stuff layered up. Okay, so then I'm taking the next one down for the pattern paper, and I'm doing the same with it. So I've cut those two now. Decided you didn't need to see me actually physically cutting them, and this is how they're going to layer up. So we've got this layered on, and then we're going to put the next one on, and then we're going to put the next piece on, and this is all just a matter of how we cut it. And I'm sure you've all seen these cards on Pinterest. I've certainly seen them, and I've made several of them over the years, and they're such a lovely card to make, and you can make them with limited supplies. So now we're going to do it again. So now I've chosen my next size, which is another 3 or 4 down again. I can't remember which number this one is, sorry. But it's just a matter of deciding which one you want. Remembering that the red one has got to be a little bit bigger than the patterned paper. The plain paper's got to be bigger than the plain card's got to be bigger than the patterned paper. So, and then the next one, so the very next one down in the set is the one that I'm going to use for my pattern paper, because that'll sit on the red and give it a nice small frame. Okay, so this is the red one that I had cut out. So this is the smallest red one, and I'm actually stamping on it. So I've put some of the anti-static, use my anti-static bag on it. So that's the white powder there. I'm putting some Versamark on it because I'm going to heat emboss it. And this one is from the Merry Christmas greeting set. And I'm just going to pop some, this is Wow Super, oh no, actually this isn't, I've decided to do this in gold, that's right, sorry. I've had this gold embossing powder for, I don't know how long, for a very, very, very long time. When I very first started, I bought this, and it's lasted for so long. Anyway, so I'm just putting some of that on, but normally I use the Wow embossing powder. So if you're looking for some nice gold embossing powder, I would definitely recommend the Wow. I don't know what brand that one is. And I've put my little fiberglass mat out, and I'm just heat embossing that. I actually left my heat gun at the office, and I'm doing this from my home. And so I used my husband's paint stripper gun, and oh my God, it's fantastic. It gets really hot really quick. Anyway, so now I'm using the Universal Tag dies or greeting die set. And I am just going to cut out Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, the one that I stamped. And so now it's time to put this card together. So that's my card base, and I'm going to stick the red piece on first, the largest red piece. So this is just going on with glue. So I'm just using the Smart Art glue, and I'm going to pop that around the edges. Then I'm going to, you didn't need to watch all of that. I did the same with the next largest frame, which of course is made out of the pattern paper. Whew. Right, a lot of talking there. And you can see that I'm just lining it up. So it's really good to do this with glue because it gives you that wriggle room. All right, so now it's time to do the next two, but I want to put a little bit of dimension. So not between the pattern paper and the red paper, but I want to put it between this set of two and the first set of two. I'm sure that makes sense. So I am just gluing the pattern paper onto that red card, And now I'm going to put some double-sided foam tape. Now this double-sided foam tape I actually get from Bunnings, and it's 1.2 centimeters wide. So it's too wide for what I want. But if I cut it down the center, it gums up my scissors, of course, because double-sided foam tape is extremely sticky. So what I'm doing is I am actually putting this on some release paper that I kept from some, you know, the A5 sheets of double-sided sticky that you can get. And I had A4, I beg your pardon. I'd cut it down to A6 sizes, and I'd used it for something, and I kept some of the release paper. So I'm putting some of the foam tape on that. And by doing it this way, I can now split it in two down the center, and it won't make my scissors sticky. You can even cut fine strips in a guillotine like the Tim Holtz one. The reason that I use this particular tape though is because it's only 1 mil thick, and so I can put as many layers as I want to make it thicker. But it does mean that on a card like this one, where I'm going to be doing a few layers, it doesn't get too big. So you can see that I've now put the double-sided tape all around the edge of that one. I'm just going to turn my card around so I can line it up. Excuse me. And I'm actually using the lines on the paper to line it up so it's all perfect. All right, so now that that piece is on, I'm going to use some of this double-sided foam tape and pop it in the center, because the next piece that I want to put on, I want to make sure that it's got a nice solid base. So I am popping that in there. Terrific. So now on my next pieces, you can see that I've cut the hole out of that was the one that was used for our greeting. I've put double-sided tape on the back of that. I've taken the release paper off the two pieces that I put in the middle of the card, as well as that piece that I'm putting on. Once again, lined it up and put it on top. So double-sided foam tape on this last one as well. So interestingly, when you do this is only 3 mil thick. So because each piece is only, you know, 1 mil with that double-sided foam tape. And here is our completed card. I really hope you learned something tonight and you enjoyed this little video, something for you to try. Don't forget that I've got another 11 coming up. I'd love you to put your creations over on our Facebook group, which I'll put a link below. And until next time, I hope you stay safe and happy crafting.